see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Walk with me, you know that.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Claymore, we got Juan, we got Eddie, Jameson, Joey. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Definitely do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button here on your way in. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We are on the road to 18K. Cannot do it without you guys. And I think we're like 20 subscribers away from it. So if you could be that guy for me, appreciate y'all. Go ahead and subscribe. It up's absolutely for free. I am going to be joined by my good buddy here, Mythic AZ, which is another fellow content creator. Make sure you sub to him. He's on the road to 10K, which we will get to that pretty soon. We got a lot of different topics to go ahead and dive into today. But first, let me give some love on over to our sponsors, Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 100 times a payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you can get up to $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. And right now, if you do use the promo code, they do have an actual promotion you can actually add on top of this one, which they'll give you a free $20 entry fee. No deposit needed. You just get a free $20 to go ahead and use their app. Highly recommend you do so. Make sure you check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. But ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk some Arizona Cardinals football. That's what my guy Justin is here for as well. Without further ado, Justin, AK Mythic AZ. What's up, brother, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Cardinals fans, how are we feeling? And how are you doing, Mike?
Hey, man, you know, it's Cardinals fans, you know, if you're new, welcome to the SHIT show, which is being a fan. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things where it feels like it's deja vu. I don't think a lot of us expected us to be here, but like, let's be real. It's 2-3, and we're going to talk about the outlook of 2025 through 5 weeks in a little bit. Like, it does feel like it is doom and gloom. I'm not sure if you feel the same way with your channel, but it does kind of feel like a lot of games kind of slipped away from the Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately, and we could have potentially been a 4-1 team, could have been a 5-0 team, but we also could have been an 0-5 team as well. Like, we just don't know what the direction of this Arizona Cardinal team is, but overall, just in a personal level, how are you doing, man? It's been a while since you've been on this channel, so how you been?
Not bad, man. Can't complain. Just got back to Arizona, kind of got situated, getting back into content is always fun, especially when your team just absolutely craps the bed. And that's the best feeling in the world, is coming back and losing to the worst team in the NFL. So personally, I'm doing great. As a fan, awful. How are you doing?
Yeah, same personal life's doing really, really good. Can't complain. Seems like the weather's now starting to change. I think we got one more hot day, and I think it's starting to cool down for us here in AZ. So I'm really, really excited about that. But let's dive into it, man. Let's first talk about the big news that ended up dropping, because we got some big news to talk about here when it comes down to the Cardinals. One of them being the whole Jonathan Gannon situation. And I want to kind of get your take on this, because Jonathan Gannon, in this last game versus the Tennessee Titans, and this video went so darn viral. It was everywhere. And basically, it was a clip of Jonathan Gannon coming up to Amari DeMarcado, which was a boneheaded mistake and probably could have lost the game for us. But there was a lot of things. It's not all him, but that was a factor. He dropped the ball before going into the end zone, but the clip was Jonathan Gannon coming over to Amari, slapping him in the chest. Went viral, and then we came to find out, per Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, that Jonathan Gannon actually got fined $100K for that situation. What are your overall thoughts, man? Do you think it's justified, or do you feel like it's not a big deal? What are your overall thoughts, man?
Do I think it's justified is such a loaded question.
Yeah.
Let's dissect it real quick. Let's really dive into it, because I haven't been shy whatsoever on my stance on this. We don't know their personal relationship, first and foremost.
True.
So to say that oh, this is, I've heard people say this is abuse. I've heard people say this is abuse. This is a genuine thing that's going on in my comment sections, that this is abuse. My opinion is wrong. I'm like, hey, they're playing a physical sport. You got to realize too, at the end of the day, they're all fighting for their jobs. And regardless of how you feel about it, he cost them the game. If we go up 28-6, no matter how much the Titans rally back, they're not coming back. So yes, Jonathan Gannon is pissed that we're 4 inches away from the end zone. If he just marches through, if you go an extra 5 yards through the end zone and guarantee a touchdown, you win the game. And we're talking about this team in a much different light. Still disappointed, but way different. And the $100,000 fine is excessive. But the NFLPA, this is kind of like the hush hush. Handle it within organization and just don't let the NFLPA. I don't know if they open an investigation or whatever's going on, but that's kind of just my thoughts. Is like handle it here, just let it die. Get over it, move on. You heard Jonathan Gannon come out today, said, hey, I addressed it. Let's move forward. I think they just want to bury the hatchet and call it a day. We also don't know their relationship. So maybe that is a dynamic where they're comfortable doing that. We've seen people in the past do it. Gerald McCoy talked about it, talking about getting heated, and there's podcasts with like Skip Bayless and all them. Like, this is normal. This is the NFL. It's physical. This happens. And it's just super overblown to me. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. But like, I get it from both sides, because to come to my conclusion, you have to look at it from both sides.
Right.
Is, oh, you don't want him to hit another grown man. I understand that, like, completely. But like, this is a head coach in the NFL, and he's coaching you. Hey, don't F up like that again. That is unacceptable. That is one of the worst things you can do in the entire NFL on the game, on the field, is dropping a football right before you're about to score, especially when you ultimately lose. I just think it costs him the game. It's a justified reaction. The $100,000 fine is just like a shut up fine, and it just keeps it internal. I don't think they want the NFLPA to get really into this, because the repercussions could get pretty ugly. So I think it just had to be done.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that players hit each other a lot worse than what we ended up seeing here. And I don't know, it's such a weird situation that happened, because like the whole abuse, I feel like that's like on the other side of the spectrum. Like, this is not abuse. It's like, no, we're not talking about Jonathan Gannon, freaking UFC beating. Like, no, it was a reaction of, and we don't know, like, I mean, it's funny. It was not funny, but like, we heard some people before it actually came out and Jonathan Gannon addressed it. People were like, "Oh, I think he was just motivating him," or "I think he was just, saying nice things." If you look at the video, it did not look like he was saying that. He looked like obviously pissed off, and rightfully so. I feel like it was a situation where it happened in the spur of the moment. He obviously didn't plan it. It's not like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go, hit Amari Mikado in the chest," because like it happened in the spur of the moment. Now, did it look like a sad scene because you saw Paris Johnson Jr.'s arm over him as well? And it seemed like, also had Will Hernandez kind of like try to console him and try to, hype him up, being like, hey, make it right the next time. But like, it does feel like it was overblown out of proportion. But I do agree. I feel like the Cardinals try to get in front of it at the end of the day, because you never know, man. If something else or another investigator or investigations end up happening, it probably could be blown a lot more than just 100K. Now, 100K is a lot to the average Joe, right? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of chunk of change. But for Jonathan Gannon, which is probably getting an average salary of like $3 million to $5 million, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, because that's still a lot of money. But I think he also knows that he probably shouldn't have reacted that way in that, because that's what he's saying. I mean, like, that's what he apologized to. I honestly, I don't have a big deal with it. Like, I think we see players do that a lot. You know what I mean? Even in the locker room, even if it's to hype each other up. I don't think Amari Mikado got hurt. I don't think he got injured. That's not abuse, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, it seems like it's squished and it's squashed. So we're going to have to kind of wait and see how that all shakes out. But that's the big Cardinal news that ended up dropping yesterday. Did you see that Kyler Murray is not being he's being held out of practice because of an injury? Did you hear that? That just came out probably
his foot.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a big deal either.
I'm sorry, one more time.
I don't really think that's that big of a deal, to be honest. It is something to monitor, though, for sure. Yeah. But I mean, he came back in the game, clearly didn't even want to go back to the locker room. So I just, it's not the best look considering who we have as an opponent. But I think we'll be all right. I think he'll play.
Okay, so that's what I was nice to see. Do you think he's going to play? For
sure. Yeah. I think if he came back to the game, he is good to go. He didn't even want to go back to the locker room. He was just ready to go.
And that's such a weird thing, man. Like, I just, it's so odd. Like, he did come back into the game, and he seemed like he was good. And it happened after the whole head doink, right? He did try to come back. And that's what I try to point out to my subscriber count here as well. Like, I was like, if you're watching the game, like actually not watching just the highlights, he tries to come back when the Cardinals were potentially going to get the ball back before Jacoby Brissett came in the game. He was trying to come back, and then the trainer was like, no, come on over and let's check it out. So I don't know. Let me ask you this real quick, and we're gonna talk about Kyler Murray a little later on. Do you think this is just a leg injury and we're just being precautious, or I guess that's the word, but are like, do you think there's something a little bit more internally, like the Cardinals are trying to potentially set up for a Jacoby start because of the injury? And
I
I'm not,
think it
I'm not
should.
sorry. Let me clarify. It's not just
Yeah.
because it's an injury, but because they are trying to make sure that his foot is 100% to go. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think they're just resting him, like you said, to keep him 100%. There's no reason to practice and just continue to put weight on it, go through the strain. Like, if there is just like a little minor injury, then just rest as much as you can before Sunday. I mean, that's a week of time. A week does a lot in terms of healing. And if it's just something minor, which we don't really know, they're never going to
Right.
disclose that unless it becomes serious, which hopefully it doesn't, knock on wood.
I know.
But I don't think it's anything, to be honest with you. I think they're just being precautious and letting him heal till Sunday, which is probably the smartest thing to do because we have a very tough, difficult opponent. So we have to be as 100% as we can be, already super banged up.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on over to the 2025 outlook for this team. I haven't had you on in a consistent manner to kind of know or feel where you are with this team. I asked you a little earlier, what are the kind of vibes on your channel? Do you feel the doom and gloom that like kind of my subscriber? We share a good amount of subscribers amongst, obviously it's one platform, so a lot of people kind of go to different channels. Where do you overall feel the vibe of the 2025 season? Do you think like this is salvageable, or do you think like, damn, that this might be the end of the 2025 Arizona Cardinals? What say you?
That's a tough one. It's pretty split. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's pretty split. I'd say 70% are just completely out the window and have kind of vocalized that their support is no longer and that they can't watch this team. It's a bad product. They wish they didn't buy season tickets. They wish they never supported this team. They're wasting their Sundays. They're not going to waste another Sunday.
Yeah.
This fan base is very vocal right now. And there's like a
Yeah.
letter that's getting sent out from like fans to ownership to everybody within the organization that they're just tired and they're sick of it, and that we're upgrading these premium seats for nobody to sit in. And like, it's crazy what you're seeing right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. I don't think I've seen a fan base so vocal through 5 games, and it's disappointing. I mean, the season is, especially these last 3 games, like the season's not over, but then you look at the schedule and it's like, okay, realistically, the offense is barely able to put up 21 points.
Right.
We're struggling right now to put up anything over 21. Feels like when we get there, no matter how early on it is, we're just stuck. We're handicapped to 21, can't get past that. And that is a terrible place to be in. So I'm just wondering right now, if we do lose to the Colts or the Packers or the Dallas Cowboys, let's just say we lose all 3,
Oof.
all support is probably going to go out the window. And it's already there after losing to Tennessee.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's one of those situations that we're finding ourselves in where this is a realistic thing that can happen. Like, I don't think anybody suspected the Colts to be as good as they were, like in the beginning of the season. Like, this was the stretch where I'm like, we should at least be 4 or 5 wins before we hit the bye week, or at least that was the expectation for this Cardinal team. But you're right, this Cardinals offense cannot seem to get their shit, together. Like, they can't. Like, and I don't exactly know what I don't think they know exactly how to fix this problem, because they probably would have fixed it already. I'm one of those guys that feel like it's an accumulation of a lot of different things that are happening within this Arizona Cardinals locker room or on the field, and it's not working. It really isn't. Now, we did hear Drew Petzing, and I'm pretty sure it pissed you off as well, when it came down to Drew Petzing, speaking to the whole 3rd and 8 play, and now he doesn't love it. But like, why would you even make that decision? And for the people that didn't hear Drew Petzing, let me go ahead and just show the clip real quick, in terms of what he had to say yesterday about that 3rd and 8 play.
What went into the decision to run in the first place on 3rd and 8 there?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, anytime I make a call, I'm trying to go win the game. Whether I'm putting the ball in Kyler's hands, whether I'm putting the ball in the back's hands and trusting the O-line. I think just based on the situation where we were, the down and distance, I didn't love the call. Felt like I put our guys in a tough spot and not happy with that.
So like, I guess because JG said the same thing.
Okay, so we'll just set it there. He felt like he put the guys in the tough spot. He doesn't like that. Now that he really looked at it, he doesn't feel like the Cardinals, he didn't put them in the right position, pretty much. I mean, and it's one of those things is like, why does it take an embarrassing loss to the Tennessee Titans to really learn the run, the conservative approach to what this Cardinals team has been doing? Is probably why we lost the majority of these games, because we took the ball out of the hand of the offense and allowed the defense to try to make a play. Now, I'm not blaming any of these losses on the defense. I feel like they held their own weight. It sucks that we couldn't make a stop in any of these 3 games, and it all was a field goal to win the game. But overall, man, what are your vibes with Petzing right now, and just I guess his explanation as to what his mind process was on Sunday?
I think it's awful for a lot of reasons. Can we talk about who got the third down carry? Do you know who it is? I
Was
do.
it was it Bam Knight or was it Democado?
It was Amari,
Was it Amari?
a guy whose confidence is absolutely shot in the gutter. Just got ripped by his head coach. 3rd and 8. Crazy. I think after first down, you run the ball 100%, see how much
Yeah.
you can pick up. On second down, you can consider it, but I think you go pass, right? Put the ball in your hands. You're a $40 million quarterback. You have a top 2 tight end in the league. And on top of that, you just took a guy number 4, a year ago?
Yeah.
Like, you would think you just put the trust in the hands of your quarterback. And if he messes up, then, oh well. If he's not able to convert it, you live with it. I get you want to burn the timeouts, you want to chew clock. But sometimes you just have to go for the kill. You run it, let him burn a timeout, pass the ball. You need a first down. Like, what is the whole philosophy of giving it to a running back whose confidence is shot? The triple
Yeah.
run is disgusting, especially after the first 2 go for 2 total yards, then you get shut for 0. I don't understand. I can't rationalize that, and Petzing is driving me nuts, like absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And it's something that is very irritating, I think, for all of us Cardinals fans with the Marvin Harrison Jr. usage. He'll come out and he'll say, "Hey, I need to be better." How many times have we heard "I need to be better"?
Multiple.
It's too many to count. Over 6, I would say, realistically. I need to be better. I have to get him involved. And he'll do it for a quarter, and you're like, there it is. There it is, man. There's Marvin Harrison Jr., the guy we took with the 4th overall pick. That's the usage we want. We want him as an early progression. We want him integrated early and often. We want 8 to 10 targets minimum per game. And people, you can critique Marvin, but you don't take him 4 if you don't want him to be a superstar. And he showed flashes that he can do it. The back shoulder fade that they had in the game, they're working through that, and it's gotten a lot better. The timing looks better. Marvin Harrison Jr. in double coverage comes down and makes a ridiculous grab, and then it's just like, all right, that's enough from you. Let's pivot. Let's go run. Let's chew the clock. Like, we're not in a position to chew the clock all the time. We're airing it out, and we look good. I think Kyler was looking methodical. He missed that one pass to Trey McBride for like 35 yards by like 4 inches. But outside of that, I thought he looked really good. And then pressure started to come because Jeffrey Simmons was ruining the game and our offensive line struggled to block. And Drew Petzing made no adjustments, just continued to run the football. I think Michael Carter had 18 carries for like 50-something yards, if I'm not mistaken, like 56 yards.
Yeah, somewhere around
Just
there.
absolutely struggling. And it's just like the philosophy hasn't changed, man. It's just you want to run the football. You're not like that. Clayton Adams left to Dallas. He's the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cardinals are ranked 32. And I don't think that is something that the Cardinals just continue to do. But for some reason, Drew Petzing just doesn't change his philosophy. Like, I think you need to stay consistent and become more balanced. And we're running the ball 18 times with Michael Carter. It's just, you're setting yourself up for disaster, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the confusing thing is that, like, I love Michael Carter. I 2 years ago, I think I was on the soapbox saying you need to move him to the 53-man roster. I don't think I've ever said to myself you need to make him the number 1 guy. I never, but like, and that's how the Cardinals used him. I was very surprised that he was the one who was toting the rock over Bam Knight, who makes the 53, and also Amari Democado. And I know they use him more as a third down back, but like, that was very shocking to me that Carter, which is 5'8", but like, I mean, he made some plays here and there. It's not like he was absolute buns, but like, I don't know, like to say we're going to give this to you after you were put on the practice squad and you earned this. It was a shock to me. Now, of course, the Amari Democado situation, I didn't even know that it was Jacoby Brissett there at quarterback. In terms of, that's probably another reason as to why the whole hole opened up, because they probably thought it was going to be a QB sneak. But that's why Amari Democado had that big 70-yard run. I mean, and in credit to the O-line for making that hole for Amari. And of course, that probably could have been the ceiling of the deal for the Arizona Cardinals to win that game versus the Tennessee Titans. It feels like everything that you saw in this game was something that you would see spread out through a season. And unfortunately, it happened to the Cardinals all in one game, right? It was the Demerson catch, fumble. They got a touchdown. It was Tyler Lockett recovering it. the head doink to Kyler Murray fumble, and then the Amari McCarter just boneheaded thing that he ended up dropping the ball before the end zone. It's just it just feels like we lost in typical Cardinals fashion, and it does feel like uh, the fork in the road or the knife in the heart for Cardinal fans, because what you said earlier, I do see a split of Cardinal fans saying, "Hey, we can recover from this," but like I see a lot more people saying it's done, man. It's cooked. The Cardinals are cooked. It's over. We ain't going to recover from this, especially since you got the Colts, Green Bay, and then you got the Cowboys, which can put up a lot of points right now. And that's one
Yep.
thing the Cardinals don't do. They can't put up points.
And I think the silver lining here is I don't think they would fire Drew Petzing midseason if it hasn't happened. I'm struggling to come to grips with it because this is I would say 2 years. I wouldn't even give him the 2.25, 2.5. Let's just say 2 years in his tenure with Kyler Murray that the offense hasn't looked great, even with other quarterbacks. It hasn't looked great. Like we can go back and date whatever. It just isn't meant for that. And with lesser quarterbacks, the offense looks even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've seen this offense with worse quarterbacks, and the offense just looks even worse. And we had a good run game last year, and the
Yeah.
offense still didn't look good. We were complaining that the passing attack is just mid, and it just continues to be mid. And now without a run game, it's
More.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nothing. The offense is a zero. And if you can't scheme open your receivers consistently or integrate them through a game and have a balanced attack, or at least have the like versatility to do so. If you want to be run heavy, that is okay, right? You can have that philosophy. That can be your game. But if you can't audible and adjust to like, hey, okay, now we have to pass the football, then you're just not a good offensive coordinator. Like point blank, period. If you're stuck in one way, then you're just not good enough unless it's just absolutely dominant. And it's not. It was dominant for 1 year. And outside of that, hasn't done anything. So I'm just so confused. And I don't think they have the backbone to actually part ways with him. I really don't. And
You
that's
know,
the unfortunate part.
I think I'll push back on that. And I think what will happen, if I'm going to be real, is that so Gannon knows that this is a big year for him as well, and we're going to talk about guys in the hot seat a little later on as well. But I think what might happen is that we got 2 weeks right here. I think we got 2 solid weeks for Petzing to get his head out of his own ASS. I seriously, and if this doesn't happen, then oh my god, and I don't know what this organization's doing. But I think they got 2 solid weeks. Now, it's unfortunate that it's against the Colts and the Green Bay Packers, but they got 2 weeks to really show that you can be that guy to win these games, to have the kill shot, to play aggressive, to close games out. That's what I feel like Petzing is tasked to. And within those 2 weeks, if we're still seeing the same results, I think the best time to do it is right there in the bye week, right before the Dallas Cowboys game. Now, is it going to be one of those moments where Kyler Murray is, in the trading block because the season's over? Or are we potentially going to trade him away? And obviously, we're going to talk about that a little later on as well. But that will be the best opportunity for the Cardinals to try to salvage something, right? Sometimes people are being used as scapegoats. Do I feel like Drew Petzing is all to blame in this? I'm probably in the minority here in terms of content creators or maybe people covering the Cardinals. I don't feel like it's all Petzing. I seriously don't. I've seen multiple different film breakdowns and saying that there's actually plays to be made out there. I think Kyler Murray can play better than he's actually doing right now, but I also don't think it's all Kyler Murray's fault. I think the O-line has some issues. The run game is not as good as an effective. Sucks that we don't have Trey and James, but it's what the Cardinals did, right? That we now have this bed that we're going to now lay in it now. So it's an accumulation of a lot of different things here, in my opinion. But that is when I feel like the Cardinals should do it. Now, I don't got any inside information or anything, but if this doesn't get fixed, that's when you do it. You strike, you try to salvage the season, and you get into the good graces of the fans. Now, I don't know if Jonathan Gannon is going to re-salvage his career, but I feel like that's when you do it. What say you on that? Or do you think they just don't have the cojones to do something like that?
I don't think they have the balls, but I guess it doesn't necessarily make sense. Like I've touched on this back and forth. Like if it did make sense, this is your stretch, right? You have a 3-game stretch to really prove yourself, or I guess 2, because we have a bye week before the Cowboys game, right? After, so you have 2 games really to prove it, and this is kind of your prove it game. And we started out on fire, and I even tweeted out that like I liked what Drew was calling. It looked good, you know what I mean? The offense was going, and then we started seeing the offensive line collapse in the interior, and it just got really ugly. And Drew, like, there's protections to be made. Also, you don't run the football right at the guy who's kind of wrecking you, knowing your offensive line can't really hang. So what do? You just continue to call a bad game. And there are plays to be made in terms of everybody on this team. But the scheme isn't going to work. And I guess a really telling stat on that is whether you think James Conner's completely washed or not. Because through 3 games behind this offensive line, they gave him 32 carries, and he didn't even crack 100 yards in 32 carries. So it's either you think James Conner's washed and hop on that train, or we just can't open up holes. And the offensive line, that you can get me started on that too. I feel like when we're driving and we just continually get false starts and holding calls, I think that drives me nuts too. And that's kind of something that also gets over is how undisciplined this team is. Isaiah Adams
Yeah.
is one of those players in particular that is just absolutely drove me crazy. Jonah Williams gets beat routinely, and it's just frustrating to watch this. I would ideally like to see Will Hernandez slotted in. I don't know if conditioning is there. Put him in, and then whenever Evan Brown comes back, you put him in, and then beach him at right tackle. And I think we have a way better line than what we're running right now, because
I agree.
I'm about to lose my mind watching the unit we're running right now. And I'm also sick. No matter how you put this too, this is your wide receiver 2. I'm gonna pull up Michael Wilson's stats.
Oh, I know. It's
This
like
is
50
a
something.
wide receiver 2, guys.
Yeah, it's 50 something yards.
8 receptions
Yep.
for 52 yards and a
Yeah.
touchdown. This is a wide receiver 2 on an NFL caliber team. Pull up any other team in the league. I dare you. And you show me anybody whose wide receiver 2 is floating at 50 yards. That is unacceptable. The Colts have 5 people over 150 at the receiver position, or 4 people, I believe, right? It's 4 with Tyler Warren included, and then Jonathan Taylor's almost there too, if not already there. And it's just I don't know, man. Daniel Jones is the quarterback over there, and he has completely resurged that team. Sam Darnold's resurging. Baker Mayfield's resurging. And if you think Kyler Murray's not going to be able to do the same thing elsewhere under a good system with a good line, you're crazy. The talent is there. We just don't. The talent's here in Arizona, and that is the most frustrating part to me. We have players. We're not sorry. We're not a sorry football team. I think Michael Wilson could be a solid slot to wide receiver 2. Solid. Not great, but solid. Serviceable.
Yeah.
Zay
More than
Jones
50
should
yards.
be serviceable. 100%. Zay Jones should be serviceable in this slot. Trey McBride is a fantastic tight end. And I still feel like Trey McBride is getting underutilized to this point. And he's playing fantastic football. And there's a couple plays they've missed together too that you wish they've connected on. But I don't know, man. Maybe Trey McBride isn't underutilized. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'd have to really look at it. But I feel
he's getting the targets. It's just we're not getting those explosive plays that we're so used to under the Cliff Kingsbury era. He's getting targets. He's got 7, 8 targets a game, which but they're all dink and dunk, man. That's what this offense is kind of about. It's of the dink. But this is one thing that we were talking about. When we used to do the Big Red Pod, a few years back. When Kyler Murray came back from when he had the 8 games first year with Petzing, and he won, was it 3 games out of the 8 games? Well, that's one of my biggest concerns that I've had on Kyler Murray, but I gave him a mulligan there. I was like, okay, it's his first year in. He needs to have his footwork, all stuff like that. But honestly, I think that's just all excuses, brother. I'm going to be real here. I know now we're going to switch over to the Kyler Murray topic because my question mark here to you is that Kyler Murray is now potentially can get traded if the Cardinals season goes sideways. Do you agree on that? Or do you think the Cardinals are going to be riding Kyler Murray to the 2025 season? Because let's be real, this is Jonathan Gannon's job at stake as well.
100%. I do think Kyler Murray's job is at stake. I think that is the case only at the end of the year. But I think it's in the realm of possibility that Petzing and Kyler go and they just try to rebuild. And that's a pretty unfortunate place to be in because I still do think that Kyler is not the problem. And once he thrives somewhere else, then Cardinals fans are going to be like, well, we had it just like the Panthers had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Just Baker Mayfield was lined up on the defensive side of the ball. It's all about fit, man. And you just see these sorry organizations, and the Cardinals are one of those sorry organizations that really just haven't had quarterback play in 35 years besides 2 players in the back end of their career that weren't even developed here and are good coaching. So it just takes a perfect fit, a veteran quarterback, and perfect coaching. Like BA and Carson Palmer, match made in heaven, right?
Yeah.
That's a QB coach for days. That is probably one of the best QB coaches of all time. And then you have Kurt Warner, just a Hall of Fame quarterback who just completely elevated the team. And outside of that, for the past 40 seasons, the Cardinals just really haven't had a quarterback. So it's just like, hey, we have one, and people are still going to find ways to complain. But as soon as he's gone, I think he'll be more appreciated. But then at that point, you just have to move on and try to find somebody else. And I think we're going to be in that position if this season goes south. I think he will be gone.
Let me ask you this real quick. What in the game of the 7 years of Kyler Murray? Now, you look at the Vikings, and I think we all saw the graphic from the Vikings. We saw Kyler Murray in the graphic of with the Vikings. I think that team is wide receiver. Like they got a really good roster. I'm not gonna say they're like leaps and bounds better than the Cardinals, because I do feel like we actually have a team that should put up more than 21 points a game. But let me ask you this: what about Kyler Murray in these 7 years have you seen that you feel like he is going to be that Super Bowl caliber team? Like, what do you think that he's doing? Is it the flashes, the small glimpses of oh, that's why we got him first overall? Is that what it is that you're leaning so much into? He's going to work somewhere else and not the Cardinals. Like I said, I know it's kind of a broad question, but you get what I'm asking?
I think he's put up historic stats here. I think there was a graphic that said Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Kyler Murray were like the only players through consistent seasons that have passed for like 3,500 and like 500 rushing yards through like 3+ seasons. Kyler Murray could have easily cracked 4K like 3 times. And if he didn't get injured in 2022, that streak probably would have continued, but he tore his ACL. So it's just like, you see the flashes, and you see, if you actually really dive in and like are watching, Kyler Murray has improved so much over these last 2 seasons. Like this season, especially, footwork, timing, the ability to play within structure has gotten tremendously better. It used to only be, I have to get out of the pocket, make a play here. And Drew Petzing's trying to cater to his system, playing under center, and Kyler's playing in that system. And I think he's done a tremendous job at adapting his game. So I think he will thrive elsewhere. And if you actually surround him, if you put him in Minnesota, I think they're a bona fide 11-12 win team, guaranteed.
Well, Kevin O'Connell can do anything with any quarterback. So
100%. You give him a talented quarterback who has played at an MVP caliber in this league and was on pace before injury. I don't know, man. I think people are really just underestimating what good coaching and a good team will do for you. And then you put a talented quarterback who's gotten better and is finally comfortable. And in that NFL level, I think he can play anywhere and be okay.
I don't think he's gotten better. I don't think he has. I don't think there's one thing, because the stats, he's been with the Cardinals for 7 years. So you're going to put up stats with the tenure that you have with the Arizona Cardinals. He's been the longest tenure quarterback for a very long time. So I feel like stats can be a little skewed. I'm not saying he is bottom 28th ranked quarterback. I really don't. I think he's a top 15 quarterback, and you can win with him. I just don't think he's gotten better. I think all the things that he's struggled with, and even I remember when we used to kind of go back and forth in the Big Red Pod, nothing he's doing now is making me feel like he's got better. There's still players open. There's still the happy feet. If he did what he's if he did, I gave him so much praise in the second half versus the 49ers game. The ability to step up in the pocket and deliver dimes. Where is that? Like, it's just the moment you make Kyler panic, the moment you hit him 1 or 2 times, it brings a level of timidness, scaredness that he just doesn't play confident anymore. He rolls out of the pocket. He doesn't stay there when literally you might need a second or maybe even a millisecond for a wide receiver to get open. I feel like he bails out way too quickly. I don't think he does anything that I'm saying he got better. I don't think his deep ball is that great anymore. I'm going to be real with you. That deep ball from Marvin Harrison Jr., he had to adjust. Marvin Harrison Jr. had to adjust to Moss, those 2 defensive guys. He probably could have hit him in stride, and he has not been able to do that since we've seen Kyler Murray. So I'm going to push back a little bit, because although I do want to believe Kyler Murray can be that guy, it's been 7 years. 7 years. So if the Cardinals move off of him, I don't blame them. I don't blame the Cardinals one bit. Hell, I wanted to do it like a year or 2 ago when we were talking back and forth about it. I don't see him growing. And I'm not making I mean, the skill set that what he can bring. He's got the athletic ability. He's really, really good in what he does, but that's what he is. He plays in flashes. Can you win a Super Bowl like that? I mean, that's a question. I don't know, man. Like, so I had to push back a little bit on that. I don't know. I don't think Kyler Murray is getting better, to be honest with you.
I would push back on that and say his ability to step up in the pocket has gotten tremendously better. He will step up in the pocket. What he won't do, that I will agree with you, is step up and take that hit that elite quarterbacks tend to do. He won't put himself in harm's way to just take a massive shot from 6'6", 300. Now, whether that's durability concerns or whatever, he doesn't do it. That I will agree with. But stepping up in the pocket and making plays and actually feeling comfortable in the pocket, I feel like his pocket awareness has always been there, but he has gotten better in that aspect of actually stepping up and making a throw. But if there's somebody there, he will not take that hit. I will agree with you 100%.
How many times do you see him step up in the pocket?
A good amount. I've actually tweeted out a good amount. Like every time he actually makes a great play, I could probably find you at least like 6-7 clips from last year alone of him doing that.
Yeah,
like it happens pretty often, especially these last 2 years.
That would be great because I remember in the 49ers, the second half, that's one that I really was like, damn, you are delivering dots, my guy. Like, keep doing that, because in the Tennessee Titans game, there was plenty of opportunities to step up in the pocket. And do you remember that play where he ended up having the intentional grounding? My guy.
Which one?
The intentional grounding one where he just like flipped
last game?
Yeah, this last game.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, what is that? Like, those are things that you shouldn't be seeing in year 7. Do you agree with that, or nah? Like, you just think
For the most part, I mean, at that point, I guess just eat a sack, but I don't know, just eat the sack at that point. But it's just trying to get the ball out and not taking the loss of yardage because the offense is already shooting itself in the foot. But I feel like you got to get that out quicker.
Yeah, 100% agree. In that play, there was an opportunity to step up in the pocket. Even if he didn't step up in the pocket, if you just stood there a little bit longer, I mean, maybe a split second, there was guys open on the right-hand side of the field over there. So, like...
But I don't think that's his progression, though. I think his progression was from left to right. Like, people became open, but that's just not... I don't think that's his read. I'd have to see the clip again and actually watch that. But, like, I don't think that's where it's meant to be read. I think it's left to right, and I think that's just a communication thing.
But shouldn't you be able to read it with the 3 or 4 seconds you have in the thing? Like, so so it's not your progression. So you're going to start off looking right first, right? So you're going to keep looking right until SHIT hits the fan. No, you need a survey. I mean, that's what the elite quarterbacks do. Like, he has, and I counted it. It was like more than 3 seconds. You know how much quarterbacks would love to have 3 seconds in the pocket? Like, there's a video floating around about Kyler Murray, and it's that exact same play. He had more than plenty of time to go like this, survey the field, and see what happens. And they were open the whole freaking time. So, like, now it brings me to the question of, can he actually read defenses? Like, or are we focusing on one guy or one side of the field, and if they're open, it becomes a really good explosive play? Like, I don't know, man. These are all these questions that we shouldn't be having here in year 7. That's my big takeaway from Kyler Murray so far in 5 weeks. I'm not impressed.
I mean, my thing is everybody has an opinion, and until he's gone, which I think if this season hits the fan is inevitable, we'll truly see what it is. Yeah. And either people are going to eat crow and regret what they saw and just realize we're the Arizona Cardinals, because it's hard to develop talent here, especially on the offensive side of the ball in the past however many years. And I think it's just the Cardinals being the Cardinals, man. I mean, the Browns are the Browns. The Jets are the Jets. The Cardinals are the Cardinals. The Panthers are the Panthers. Like, I don't think it's rocket science. I really don't. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, they're all struggling in Carolina. Baker look good in Cleveland. I think it's just the perfect situation for Baker Mayfield. We kind of saw it. Baker Mayfield, pretty similar stats. Like, Baker Mayfield had flashes in Cleveland, but it's Cleveland. You're getting held back by the organization. Bad coaching. Put him in good coaching. Get him a good line. Looks great. And I think the same thing will happen.
2 or 3 years ago, we would have added the Commanders or the Commanders.
Yeah.
And guess what? Mean, they got their QB.
Jaden Daniels. It took so long. But even Jaden Daniels hasn't looked like Jaden Daniels.
Rookie year.
Whatever.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean.
That's true.
He looks good. Don't get me wrong, and he was hurt. Like, Jaden Daniels, I'm still a believer in Jaden Daniels. I think he's the best quarterback.
I agree.
But, and like, he's missed throws, especially in game 1. I believe in C.J. Stroud, too. Like, I believe in everybody. I believed in Baker, and I was getting flack for that. And it's just like, when it comes to fruition, it's just like, the dude is playing his ass off.
Yeah.
And, like, he has something, even if the play's not going great, he will always put his heart in it. He has the locker room. He has the back of his teammate. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like some things people miss. And at this point, I kind of just want Kyler to be traded just to see what happens and watch him get traded to a stable organization with good coaching. I'm at that point because this whole organization is it's just terrible. Like, it's just awful, and we can't get anything going. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
hey, if the whole fan base is already turned, just go capitalize on value and trade them, and
Yeah.
just say
They,
F it. Like, why not? Why not? Why not? It doesn't hurt. I mean, at this point, the organization is just a complete S show, and we're
yeah.
young. Why not? Why not? I'm at that point. If this season goes awful, let's just let them go thrive somewhere else, and then the fans will look completely idiotic.
But what if we don't?
And then I think I don't know, because I'm at the point where we're just so bad that I just kind of want it to happen. Like, I'm at that point. Like, just kind of put us out of our misery. Like, fire Petzing, trade Kyler, just reset. Like, I'm over it. Like, this whole fan base is just so turned, and it's at that point where if the season just doesn't go well, it's just like, why not? Like, why not? Just trade them and see what happens.
I mean, that's one thing that I have noticed from some fan, not just the Cardinal fan base, but obviously because we cover it, we're kind of in tune with what the fans are saying because we got a channel. You have very close to 10K. Make sure you subscribe to Mythic, by the way, guys. He's on the road to 10K. But yeah, that's one thing I have noticed is that the guys that have been riding with Kyler Murray for this long, and I'll put you in there as well, Mythic. I love your takes. I really do. But the guys have been riding with Kyler Murray. They refuse. They refuse to say anything wrong about K1. They refuse to say it. And with 5 weeks, when you have a team like the Tennessee Titans where you expect your quarterback for $43 million that you're paying him, the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is not all Kyler Murray's fault. And I'm not saying you. But that's not the point. The point is when you're paying a guy that much money, you are supposed to be that guy to win those games. A team where we're 3 years in and they're the first overall pick and the worst team in the NFL, that's what we expect. When you're getting paid $40+ million, we need you to be that guy to win it. And so far, Kyler Murray hasn't been able to do that. Like, and that's where my mindset is coming from. And I had a Kyler Murray fan come in here, and I kid you not, I showed him all the stuff that are on X Twitter, all the things. And then the same thing he said was, "Oh, no, that's not open." It goes because this can happen. I'm just like, well, the elite quarterbacks make those plays. Kyler Murray is not elite. Kyler Murray is a top 15, top 16 quarterback right now. You can win with Kyler Murray. We know we can. He's just
no doubt.
Right? But with what we have right now, you can't. A lot of things are against him. Drew Petzing, the play calling, the offensive line, the lack of run game. It's a lot of situational. But the people that do not, like, they refuse to admit that there's plays open on the field is the same ones that are saying, okay, get rid of him. You'll see what happens when he thrives with the Minnesota Vikings. Guys, don't forget, you're Cardinal fans. You're Cardinal fans through and through. We want this organization to succeed. And although we might shoot ourselves in the foot, this might be what's best for the Cardinals organization at the end of the day. We like you said, we need to capitalize on value, right? It ain't working. As well. It ain't working.
What? How many quarterbacks do you think thrive in an offense like this? Just no run game, no anything. Offensive line protection breaks down constantly, and your offensive coordinator just kind of refuses to integrate your wide receiver one and make him an early progression. There's a stat that came out that Marvin Harrison, I think, was an early progression one in like 32 snaps after the first quarter. So like, who's really thriving in an offense that's just stuck where we're at? Like, if we're being so honest, do you think there's over 5 quarterbacks that'll put up elite level stats or look as elite as they do elsewhere?
I think the NFL game has gotten so darn specific with PFF, with every single thing out there that you can try to point to say lack of separation, lack of this, lack of progression, when we can just go back to just playing football. Like, regardless if that's your first read or not, if you know what a defense is, you know where the ball's going to go pre-snap. That's what the best of the best do. And that's what Tom Brady did. That's what Peyton Manning did. That's what all the best quarterbacks did out there. It don't matter about progression because you know what defense they're trying to do. Now, you're not going to get 100%. You're not going to bat 1,000 when you know what the defense is going to be coming to you. But I feel like literally when we snap the ball, it's an SHIT show. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to try to read the read. And you guess me, I don't think Kyler Murray knows what defense is out there. It's just we're going based on progression. And I agree with you. Marvin should be the number one progression every single time, or at least 95% of the time. But with all these stats that are coming in here, I feel like we're skewing away to the actual game of football. Let him make the reads, progress through it. And that's the perfect example, that play that I was talking about where he literally threw the ball he had plenty of time to progress. He did. And if you can't read that quickly, then I'm sorry, my guy. You can't be an NFL quarterback. Or at least these
I
weapons aren't going to
mean,
be suitable for you to thrive in it. So Petsing,
my thing is, yeah, hold on, keep going.
no, you're good.
So we don't know what's going on. That's the best part about this is we
Yeah.
know that there's a lot of collapses. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what the progression is. We don't know what's going on. But you can tell where the eyes of a quarterback go. That typically that's where you want him to look at. If Kyler's looking to the left, that's because in walkthrough and just overall what Drew Petzing's telling him to do in the headset, like, hey, progression from left to right, we were looking for this. That's what they're looking for. And also, I think that Drew Petzing has just been absolutely incompetent, and we're kind of seeing that.
Yeah.
Like, I think Kyler Murray hasn't been fantastic completely. He has looked good, in my opinion. I think he's playing football where we have the chance to be 5-0. Like, we could easily be 5-0.
Defensively.
But, like, at the same, defensively, we've looked pretty good. I mean, we give up an S ton of yards, but, like, the points aren't getting tacked on.
Yeah.
So, like, that's happening. But I don't know. This team just, I don't think we're set up to win. I just don't see a world where outside of this season, with how many injuries we've sustained, how banged up we are, and the fact that we're 2-3, just lost 3 game-winning field goals in a row.
Brutal.
I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling to sit here and just find a world where if you don't go 2-1 in these next 3, how you salvage the season. Because I've been saying that this schedule is going to be tough, and everybody was telling me I'm an idiot at the beginning of the year, and now you look at it now and it looks pretty tough.
Like, it does. No, you're
now
right.
It looks awful.
If
but I was sitting
right
here and saying this is going to be difficult, and everybody, you can go back to the record prediction video that I made. People were saying it's easy and like they can't wait to play this schedule. It's like
that was me.
I'm like nah. Now obviously the Packers got a lot better with Micah Parsons, but this schedule, man, is not forgiving. And the fact that the offense just, no matter what's going on, and we can screenshot whatever on Twitter and pause a freeze frame and dissect it. But most of the time, we don't know what's going on in the field entirely. We can know 85%. We know 90%. We know 50%. We don't know. We can just break it down as much as we can break it down and just assume what's going out on the field. We don't know. But I think we are all consensusly on the point that Drew Petzing should have been gone like 2 games ago. And he's still here. And kind of just got to live and die with that at this point. Like the offense just hasn't been good enough, no matter who you want to blame it on. It could be Kyler. It could be Drew. It could be the offensive line. It can be Marvin Harrison Jr. for dropping passes. Like it could be whoever you want to blame it on. The offense has not been good enough to win football.
As a whole.
And the defense is getting marched on at the end of the game by playing soft coverage. Like there's just a lot going on. We're losing off game-winning field goals. I think all Cardinals fans can agree that that's heartbreaking. That's 3 games in a row off a game-winning field goal. I don't think that's ever happened in NFL history. Like
this is the first time
I can recall. Like that is absolutely disgusting to watch, and it hurts because it's just like no matter how in the game, no matter how ahead, no matter how out of the game we feel, it's coming down to that last second field goal, and we're getting marched on by Mac Jones, Cam Ward, and then who was game 3?
Mac Jones.
Division game. Sam Darnold.
Oh, Sam Darnold.
And Chad Ryland kicked the ball short, and it just took 2 plays for them to get down. Like, it's heartbreaking. And we're in a position where I think all Cardinals fans just are at that point where we're about to lose our minds. Like, point blank period. Like, just hit the reset button. People are calling for Gannon, Monty, Drew, like all their jobs. Kyler, trade them. And it's just like they want to blow it up. And I'm not on that train. I want to keep Monty. I want to keep Jonathan Gannon. I like just build the continuity and then address it. Because Kyler's contract, the more it gets on, the easier it is to trade him as well. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think Drew Petzing and Kyler will both be gone if this season just hits the fan completely.
That's what we're going to talk about here. The hot seat real quick. It's the last topic of what we're going to talk about. Hot seat. Like I've heard it too. I've heard Monty should get it. I heard, JG should get it. Petzing. The only one that I feel like is safe is Rallis. Is the only one that people are like, keep him, because everybody else sucks. What do you feel overall of JG? Like what he's done? Let me ask it this way: do you feel like the fan base has turned on Jonathan Gannon because of his loyalty to Petzing?
I think it's just a pile of things is why they're turning on him. And it's kind of crazy to watch because a lot of people were 50-50 to begin with. And now it's just like after these last 2 weeks, it has gone so bad for Jonathan Gannon,
It
like
has.
almost unpredictably bad. And it's crazy to watch because it's just like I feel like if you ask 80% of Cardinals fans, they're probably ready to pack or Jonathan Gannon up.
Yeah,
And
true.
I'm not on that boat. Like I'm really not. I'm really not. It's 3 years, and that's the thing I hate about this generation of football fans. There's no time to grow, no time to develop. It's instant success or you're dead, and I hate that so much because we can go down the line. How many quarterbacks won a Super Bowl in 7 years through their first seven? It's not always instant success. No one's career is the same. What head coach is always successful in 3 years? It's not always successful. But there's things that you can also point out, like the offense is just terrible. You're scoring under 20 points. It's unacceptable. Pack him up, get him out. But they're so late on decisions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that frustrates me.
Agree
Because
with that too.
I called Trey McBride 5 games before it happened, putting him in. Didn't
Yeah.
happen. I called putting Clayton Tune in way before, and we put him in against the Cleveland Browns and just like, hey, go die on the field, basically.
Yeah.
And play a star-studded defense. Like, it's just so bad. It's so badly mismanaged. Pull Josh Dobbs early. Me and you were both on that. You and I called that after week like 5, and they played him to like week 8. It's just like these decisions happen so late. And Drew Petzing should have been packed up 3 games ago. Point blank period.
Yeah, and
while you're actually still early in the season.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I agree with that. I do hate that. Like I put something on X and Twitter, and it was basically retweeting or reposting the Petzing when he was talking about the 3rd and 8. I was like, I hate that it takes this embarrassing loss to finally realize you should not run when you're in a must have a first down situation. Like it's. Regardless if you want Kyler to get packed or not, I think we can all agree that run was not the way to go. You need to put the ball in the hands of Kyler. You need to allow him to do something with his legs, throw it to Trey, throw it to Marv. And then if that happens and he doesn't, like you said earlier, right? Then we live on that and then we die on that sword. And then we assess at that point. But just to be so predictable in the run, which is so darn idiotic. It was so idiotic. And even he came back and said, after I looked at the tape, or even after I called it, I didn't like it. Then timeout. Call a timeout if you saw the defense stacking the box and you knew call a timeout. Like,
it looked like normal defense too. That's the worst part. Like, don't even call a run in the first place. Like, what are we doing? It's just stupid, idiotic play calling.
Yeah. So that's where the frustration comes from my behalf. And like I said, I might be in the minority of this whole thing. Do I feel like, I know you asked this earlier, do I feel like the scheme can work with another quarterback? I think we can win games with this scheme. I really do. What pisses me off about Drew Petzing is his lack of creativity, the lack of, smartness. The situational play calling is really down the drain. Not very smart on that. Does not put his, tight end 1 or Marvin Harrison Jr. at, the forefront of this offense. He doesn't do it. That's what pisses me off about Petzing. It's not the scheme. It's not, what happens on the field, because I've seen it with my own eyes. There's plays to be made if Kyler Murray can see it. It's those decisions that I don't like about Petzing, and that's enough to pack him up. That press conference is enough to be like, all right, you're done. Take the mic away from you. Back, you're out of here. You know what I mean? Because it's idiotic, man. It really is.
This isn't even like something that's like just happening either. This has been all season long. This is dating back to last season where we've heard, I got to do a better job of getting Marvin Harrison the ball. And he just doesn't do it. And it's just like, I think football, it is a very complex sport at the end of the day, but it's also very simple. Get the ball to your best playmakers and let them make plays.
Yeah.
Like, imagine Randy Moss is out on that field, just hypothetically. I'm not saying Marvin Harrison's Randy Moss. People misclick that. But, like, imagine Randy Moss is on that field, and you're like, hey, Randy, we need you to be okay with 4 to 5 targets a game, and let us just run the football. A.J. Brown is pissed, and they're running a very similar scheme right now, and Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball short. It's all at the line of scrimmage. And I'm already not like the biggest Jalen Hurts believer, but he's getting held back so much because of that system.
Yeah.
Like, so much.
Fair.
And yes, they're winning games, they're running the football, but like, there's frustration building by Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Like, there's just frustration when you have all these playmakers and you're not getting them the football. I don't think.
Rather be in their situation or our situation?
I would rather be in their situation because they just won a Super Bowl. I'd rather be in that situation. I'd rather be frustrated with a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like 100%. I don't think it's anywhere close there. Like, Philly's just really good at retooling, and
they are.
At the very minimum, they always have a good D line and a very good O line. So
Yeah.
find the players around there, and they typically get it done.
Yeah, let me real quick. Last question, then we'll close up shop because we're about to hit the hour mark. I see somebody here in the chat, and they said that they're not going to do anything until after the season. And I'm talking about either it's a Kyler or Petsing, but this is kind of like if that does happen, that just kind of reinforces what we've been talking about before because you have a way here to potentially capitalize on value on potentially your quarterback. You can let go of your OC that's not working for the last 3 years and try to resalvage something, right? That at least gives the Cardinals fans some sort of hope that some changes are happening. But like if they truly do that, man, it just goes back to what we were saying earlier. They're so late on these things, and that's another thing that pisses off this Cardinals fan base and organization because you can't sit here and tell me that you don't know what the issue is and you're going to ride this 17 season game season out when you could have done that because like let's say you do get rid of Kyler Murray on the offseason, that value drops because they now know we're going after a quarterback in the draft. They all know that we're going to do something to figure out and then his value drops. You gotta take advantage of it if that's what the Cardinals are going to do. So I don't know, man. This whole foot injury, I don't feel like it's a big deal either, but I think it's really weird. I think it's really, really weird, to be honest with you. He plays the game. Jonathan Gannon talks about it on Monday, and now he doesn't practice because of a foot injury. I don't know. I think it's odd. But you know me, man. I'm more conspiracy theorist. Like I'm weird like that.
It's definitely something to watch, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's that big of a deal. I think there's a lot going on with this team
Yeah.
that it's not a good look. And here we are, man. I mean, it's just like they can never go right. They can
Yeah.
never go right. In the game that you're up 21-6 and have a walk-in touchdown, even before that, you're up 21-6 and have a chance to just pour it on. I don't know why we're just so bad at pouring it on. I don't really the conservativeness and like the want to just chew the clock out and just I can't
Yeah.
rationalize it. Like there's some games, yes, if they're a terrible team, do it. But in Carolina and the Saints, you almost brought them back doing that. I was all for that. Even said they should play the way that's supposed to be. But now the run game sucks and we can't do anything. And we're not able to do it no matter who's back there. James Conner struggling. Trey Benson has popped a couple plays, but he's not here. He got hurt after one game of starting. Now you have Michael Carter. It's like, okay, knowing that we can't really run the football and just watching us pour 21 unanswered after putting the ball in your $40+ million quarterback's hands, we should probably continue to do that. But no, it's just like concerned. Like they want to chew the clock.
Yeah.
Like I get that you want to chew it, but it worked to the point where we're up 21-6. Score 50. I don't give a crap. Score 50 points. I don't care what bad sportsmanship it is. We've had too many games as Cardinals fans just watching them creep back in because we're unable to put our foot on their neck and just kill them. Just kill them. I don't want them to have any hope. I want Tennessee to go back and just absolutely be demoralized. I want Cam Ward to think he's a bust, has no opportunity in the league.
Agree.
And that their ass. Like he said, I want him to go back and feel the same thing after 6 points. He did not play a good game.
He didn't.
Cam Ward, inaccurate all day long, missing throws. But in those clutch moments, the Cardinals allowed him to creep back into this.
Yeah.
It's just unacceptable. Unacceptable from both sides with the offense. It starts with them.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's the unfortunate part of it all. It's just you hope that some light bulb comes off, and I hate that it took 5 weeks to now hopefully see, or at least a light that maybe the light bulb went off. Because I'm not even sure the light bulb went off, to be honest with you.
No.
But now that we got this embarrassing loss under our belt, it does feel like it's doomsday from here. But let's see what happens with the Colts. I did see the title of your preview. We're gonna lose by 40 points. Love it. Honestly, by the way. Do you think that's actually gonna? You think they're gonna put a lot of points up, and you think we're gonna get demolished in that game?
I think it might be a little closer than people are giving it credit for, but I could easily see a way the Colts win this game.
It's either going to be a close one, or we get demolished.
Yeah, either they're going to win by like 14 plus 17, 20, whatever it is, or I don't know. With the way the defense is playing, it's hard to think, but like we give up so many yards that if a team can just capitalize and score in the red zone, I think we are cooked.
Yeah, dude. Feels like that. It does. All right. Well, let everybody know where they can find you, man. I know you're on the road to 10K, but we'll be closing up shop right here. Thank you for having be on, by the way. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below, but go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, man.
On YouTube at MythicAZ, Instagram at I'mMythicAZ, or it's MythicAZ, X, I'mMythicAZ, and then TikTok if you guys want to follow me for more content in short form. it's Mythic AZ as well. Appreciate you for having me on.
Of course, man. Thank you so very much for chopping it up. Everybody in the chat, do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way out. We are on the road to 18K, and we're so close to being there. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what I thought. All right, y'all. We're closing up shop right here. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And as always, go Cardinals. Later.
Hey. Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah, ain't no errors, baby. It's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me, you know that I got.
1 second here. Don't think it's ending. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I'm having issues with this. Let's do it this way. All right, let's try this. All right. All right. System's wigging out. All right, I'm gonna let you go, brother. Later.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Later.